Okay. Is there any objection to approving the minutes as presented from last month's meeting, the May meeting? Any objection? Hearing none, the minutes are approved by unanimous consent. Is there any objection to approving the agenda as presented for today for our committee? Hearing none, the agenda is approved by unanimous consent. We have no one that has signed up for public comments. We have no media present and visitors. So we'll move right along into our committee items. The first thing on the agenda is for approval is the new alternative route program in Lexington School District 2. And I believe Dr. McLeese is going to talk to us about that.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy June. Happy summer. So I have the great pleasure of presenting a new alternative route preparation program, also known as an alt route program, to you. This one is coming to us from Lexington School District 2. It is CPACT, better known as the Champions Pathway to Alternative Certification for Teachers. And so this alternative route program is a partnership with an LEA, a local education agency. And if you're wondering what gives someone standing to become an alt route program, they have to fit in one of four buckets, should we say. They need to be tied to an IHE, an institution of higher education. They need to be tied to an LEA, a local education agency, like a school district. They need to be tied to the South Carolina governmental agency, like PACE, or they can be deemed an educational entity. So CPACT is coming to us in partnership with Lexington School District 2. Think of it almost as kind of like a grow your own program. They are seeking to certify individuals, teachers in the fields of early childhood, elementary. You see all those middle school content areas. So we've got English, social studies, science, and math. We've got secondary, and then we've got PK-12 certification areas as well. So that program proposal came to us at the agency in September of 2025. And at that time, we went through our normal protocol, creating an external peer review team. And this team was composed of individuals, one who works for the agency in alt route preparation, so has that extreme expertise. One individual came to us from an IHE alt route program, so currently works in an alt route program for an IHE. And one individual came to us from a district alt route program. So these individuals had extreme knowledge in the alternative route certification field. They reviewed the proposal, and in November of 25, we were able to offer feedback to CPACT. And that feedback really centered along two themes, one being budget and one being curriculum. So with the budget, the external peer review team was really looking for Lexington School District 2 to flush out the payment. So what would participants be required to pay? What sort of payment forgiveness policy would be in effect should someone kind of withdraw from the program? Really kind of getting into those finances. And the second part was curriculum. What does a candidate need to do? What kind of assignments and assessments do they need to pass to progress successfully through the program? So the team, we gave the feedback back to Lexington School District 2. They got us a revised proposal, and the external peer review team was able to look at that in January of 26. At that point, the team was very thankful and really applauded Lexington School District 2's ability to kind of clarify those two matters. So the proposal moved from the external peer review team to the PRC. The PRC reviewed it in March of 26, and at that point, they had some technical edits to the proposal, like grammatical commas, closing of parentheses, those sort of minor edits. And then they also asked Lexington School District 2's CPACT program to really look at their assessment rubrics and delineate between the different progression levels of an assessment rubric to what differentiates between those progression levels. So CPACT was able to get that revised assessments and the technical edits done PRC reviewed the proposal again in April, passed it along, and that then is what brings it here from September all the way to June in front of you all. And so with all of that background, I'll happily answer any questions you have.
I don't have a question, but I have a comment.
Yes, sir.
In reading through their proposal, I'm really impressed with the coursework that lines up with the standards of teaching. It really seems like it gets down to what really matters. And then they will go through an evaluation process for more than 1 year, correct?
Yes, sir.
So I think in the end, you've got a robust program with without a lot of the extras that you have to sometimes pay for, so.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to add, too, this mimics college, the instructional coaches, the mentors. I've been a mentor for Winthrop before, and this is a lot like that. So I was very impressed. You're not just getting those people and putting them in the classroom and say, good luck, see you in 3 years, see what happens. I mean, they are providing all the support. So I'm impressed.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? Is there a motion to approve the new alternative route program for Lexington 2?
Make a motion to approve the new alternative route program for Lexington School District 2.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Is that Mr. Harrington?
Yes.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approval of this program, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? If not, the motion carries. Thank you, Jessica. Next, we have on our agenda the South Carolina Certification Assessment Program, some additional testing that's going to be required for physical education people.
All right, so Dr. Mathis has put me on the clock, so I'm going to be succinct, you know. I'm bringing to you, and I mentioned this at their meeting in May, I'm bringing to you an recommendation for an additional option for candidates seeking certification in physical education. ETS offers 2 assessments in physical education. We have used for many years Praxis 5095 and have also monitored test taker performance on that assessment, received feedback from colleagues in higher ed, and most recently our colleagues at Winthrop reached out. They have a faculty member who previously worked in West Virginia at the university there and used the additional assessment 5091. So we began taking a harder look at that assessment, and so we are bringing that to you as an option today. So a candidate seeking certification in physical education, if approved, would be able to take either Praxis 5095, the current exam, or Praxis 5091. Those assessments are based on the same set of standards, cover the same content. The format is primarily the difference. So Praxis 5091 is 120 selected response questions or multiple choice questions. Some are drag and drop, but they are selected response. Whereas 5095 is a combination of selected response and constructed response or short essay questions. Given feedback from our higher ed institutions, the availability of this test in more states, 5091 is actually used in 28 states, whereas 5095 is used in 12. This additional assessment is less expensive for candidates, and it can be scored more quickly. So we recommend adopting 5091 as an option for candidates in physical education with a cut score of 152. That is the same score being used in North Carolina, and I do recommend that we align that score with our colleagues in North Carolina. You know, we have a fair number of folks moving across the border. So that's part of the reason in working with ETS we established that recommendation. They will be able to choose, and in most instances, especially with our higher ed institutions, you know, they work with candidates. Faculty look at these assessments, and they'll make a recommendation to candidates. If they were certified in another state and had taken 5091, that was not an issue. But if they had done a program in another state and were seeking initial certification here and had not become certified in another state, they would have to take 5095. So again, because this is used in so many other states, we do, we still have a number of folks from outside South Carolina seeking initial certification here based on an out-of-state program, and we also have a fair number of candidates in alternative certification seeking certification in PE. So
What is the basic difference between the two assessments?
it is really the format of the test. So whereas 5095, the current exam has 90 selected response questions and 3 constructed response or short essay questions, it takes longer to score. It is $156. Whereas 5091 is 120 selected response questions. There are no short essay questions on this particular content exam. It costs $130 and can be scored more readily. So we actually get those score reports back more quickly for those candidates.
Does anyone else have a question of Mary?
I have a question. So I see it's for candidates currently in preparation, enrolled in preparation programs. What about candidates in state that has not been successful at 5095?
Once this becomes available, and what we've actually worked with ETS to do, typically when we adopt a new assessment or a new option, it becomes available September 1st. We worked with ETS, and this would be available July 1 if it's approved. So candidates that are seeking certification that may not have been able to pass the test, this would be an option for them, and one I would actually recommend.
Yeah, that's good.
I have one question. You mentioned alignment with North Carolina. What about Georgia?
So Georgia, being a much larger state population-wise, has its own assessment program. So their GACE exams previously were developed by ETS. They actually have moved. So all of their assessments are now developed and issued or offered through Pearson. So it's not comparable. Otherwise, we certainly, because we, again, get a lot of candidates from Georgia as well.
Any other questions? Is there a motion to approve the South Carolina Certification Assessment Program additional testing for physical education?
Haney, I'll make a motion, we approve the South Carolina Certification Assessment Program for additional testing option for physical education.
We have a motion. Is there a second? We have a second. All of those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you, Mary. The consent agenda. Is there a motion to place the 2 items that you have heard this morning on the consent agenda? A motion to put,
Haney motion.
thank you. We have a motion to place it on the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor of these 2 items being placed on our consent agenda for the afternoon, please signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The motion carries. We have no other business to discuss, so I need a motion for us to adjourn. We have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second? When we have a second, all those in favor say aye. Thank you. Appreciate it.